Clones were utterly loyal and served the Republic to their last breath. It was in their DNA. However, there was some exceptions to this rule. One clone would become an example of how the procedure could go wrong and become an abomination in the eyes of the Kaminoans. But who exactly is this clone? The Trooper was created on Kamino as the standard base template of a Jango Fett clone. He received training from one of the Mandalorian Cool Valdor, who were the Mandalorians Jango brought with him to train the army in the ways of war. The clone also began to study Mandalorian culture, perhaps wanting to know his ancient ancestors and who he was cloned from. Here, he learnt of the fierce Crusaders who bent the galaxy to their whim through war, who butchered the Sith and Jedi alike, the Mandalorians who conquered entire systems, and he learnt about the Mandalorian pantheon. He became infatuated with the Mandalorian destroyer god Kaddak, who was the deity of growth and change. The clone even took a name based upon the deities, Kaddak. Over time, the clone became disillusioned, seeing the clones as slaves to the Republic and believing that as a Mandalorian, why should he serve their ancient enemy? As his training proceeded, he began to hate, and eventually, in a sparring lesson with one of the Mandalorian tutors, his hatred got the better of him and he butchered the instructor with his bare hands in a mad frenzy. Kaddak was thrown in a cell on Kamino for what he'd done, to be experimented on by the Kaminoans, who wanted to know what made a defective clone. However, this only fueled his anger. He exercised continuously, becoming far stronger than the standard clones. However, his solitude clawed at his mind. He tattooed his name across his body, purposely scarred his face, and shaved the entirety of his head in a desperate attempt to differentiate himself from the other clones, who he saw as slaves. Following the Kaminoans' tests, rumours spread throughout the ranks that the feral clone was destroyed. However, others circulated that he had escaped. Ultimately, it was the latter that proved correct. Years later in 17 BBY, during the Imperial conquest of Ostor, a planet that housed a significant separatist holdout, Kaddak would resurface. Interestingly enough, this campaign would be one where Vader would sustain one of his most crushing defeats, but also his cruelest reprisal. But more on that later this week. Why exactly Kaddak chose to fight for the very people he was designed to stop is a mystery to many. However, he was eventually killed during a hand-to-hand combat with Commander Hawk in front of Vader himself. But what do you think of Kaddak, the clone who refused to fulfill his purpose? Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If so, please remember to like, subscribe and share, as it really helps the channel grow and is really appreciated. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @TheLoreGuy for regular updates. Thanks for watching, I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.